Update. I have submitted one book review from Carlos Hill. We did a couple of videos on it. Beyond the Rope to the Southern Historian, and it's a magazine for graduate students. Um, so we'll see if that gets published. That would be for, I think, the 2019 publication, not 2018. They're doing 2018 now. I presented my work on the black image and identity in the United States of the black person in America and the black American. Obviously, the difference being upon emancipation and the 13th Amendment, blacks were not citizens in the United States. We were merely residents until the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voters' Rights Bill. Because if the 13th Amendment and 14th Amendment applied to black people, we would not have had the 1964 and 65 legislation. So, what I am proposing in that, which we have some videos on, is that the image of black people began in antebellum right before the Civil War and developed between prior to the Civil War to after the turn of the 20th century. So we're looking at 1840 to 1910. This is when the whole black brute imagery began, as to where if the black man was freed, this was the anti-abolitionist perspective that was attempting to maintain white supremacy, slavery, and capitalism, just to be honest. And the black brute imagery was the allegation that if blacks were free, that they would basically take revenge on white people and do to white people what white people had done to them. That slavery is the only thing that stopped black people, specifically the black man, from these uncontrollable urges that he had. Now, significantly, before that, there was another image of black people. That was the Mammy, the Aunt Jemima, the Uncle Tom, the Uncle Remus, happy-go-lucky, kind of slow-witted, happy with their situation. That was an imagery that existed during slavery, where it was part of the cognitive dissonance to show that this group of people needed to be led and that they were happy in their condition. The reason why my research is important is because this is the formation of the imagery that we deal with now. And not just do we deal with it now, this imagery has fueled the maintenance of slavery through the 13th Amendment, the criminal association with black people, definitely projected by the movie Birth of a Nation in 1914. The rationale behind the war on drugs, the rationale behind mass incarceration, and the condition of black people. If we go back to this period, you'll see where they combined pauperism, poverty, literacy or lack thereof, to, though being temporary conditions, they connected them to innate conditions with black people being race, which would make the temporary condition appear to be as innate as the race. So I gave that presentation Wednesday or Tuesday. It was the 20th. I think it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. And it was two young people that presented with me. Well, I can't say against me. It really wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Our works weren't where you could really compare them. Um, I thought I did well. I thought I had the most original work. The other people that presented, they were presenting works that they were working with someone else on. And maybe because I'm old, I actually was presenting my work that I had complete understanding of, as to where they had an understanding of the section in which they were doing it, but the bigger picture as to why they were doing it, they really didn't know. Whereas, obviously, I did. It was my work. I seem to be a bit more comfortable with my topic. Now, I did lose my clicker because I'm moving around. I'm talking. I'm going from one side of the room to the other. And when I picked up my books to say, I aligned my research with Sean Wilentz and Daniel Walker Howe, and I'm holding the books up, I set down the clicker. Well, I'm getting hype. I'm ready to go to the next clicker, to the next PowerPoint slide. I sit the books down, go back to the podium. I don't have no clicker. And I'm like, okay, Donnie, think. And I say, okay, just switch it on the computer. But I kind of panicked, and on my computer, I can just tap the little board, and it'll advance my screen. Well, it wasn't my computer; it was the school's computer. So I had to put the little X in the right place, click it. Okay, I was on, and it was good. I did well on time. I don't know if my research really got placed properly, because I was put in the race and ethnicity portion as opposed to the history portion. And the history professors were there for the history portion. So I have to, from now on, I was just glad to get my work in it. But from now on, I'm going to have to require that if I participate, my work be put in the history portion. And I don't want to get pigeonholed into black studies or African American studies or racial studies. History is history. We need to stop Black History Month, Women's History Month, all of that. When we teach, we should teach history as it happened and everybody that was involved. So if we're talking about the women, and we're talking about the black folks, and we're talking about the natives, and we're talking about the Mexicans, and we're talking about everybody that was involved in it, then we don't have to have these particular months and days just to focus. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we do need to still have those months, but history should just be history. It should not be that the mainstream history is white history. It shouldn't be that way. It should be like, this is the whole story. Now, if you just want to focus on this particular group, cool, let's go do that. But this week we've moved forward into transatlantic study, where we have covered, we've moved from Gilroy's Black Atlantic. And I don't know if I did a video on the Black Atlantic. It was a very sophisticated reading, and we've moved into the Red Atlantic. So I'll probably be picking it up, doing some more videos tonight. I just wanted to get everybody caught up on where we are. So hopefully first year I'll get a review published, and hopefully I will get an honorable mention or some type of recognition for the presentation of the research I did.